Hello everyone, we are the last group and this presentation is all about the Treasury Management of Indonesia. So me and my members po, we decided to focus sa different functions ng Treasury Management. So mamaya sa discussion, makikita natin kung paano ba nahahandle tong mga function na to ng bansang Indonesia.
Good day, everyone! The country that is assigned to my group is Indonesia. Indonesia has the largest economy in Southeast Asia and is a major manufacturing center. The country is regarded as a leading financial center for Southeast Asia with numerous investment and growth opportunities. The Ministry of Finance is a government ministry in Indonesia that is in charge of the country's finances and public assets. The President is responsible to the Finance Minister, Negara Dana Raka, which means Guardian of State Finance, is the ministry's slogan. As the saying goes, what can't be measured can't be managed. This management credo also applies to a country's finances, and it is even more important. In April 2015, Indonesia unveiled a new financial management system in the hopes of bringing more efficiency, openness, and accountability to the country's public sector. ISPAN is an automated treasury payment and budget planning information system. The system's capabilities are impressive. It can validate government financial transaction data, control government obligations, implement accrual-based accounting, and help create real-time financial reports. ISPAN is now linked to the country's commercial banking IT system, modernizing the government's cash management process. It is expected to not only facilitate the creation of a uniform national budget and its implementation, but also to provide current financial information about the government. And that's all for some brief introduction about Indonesia. The next reporter is Miss Paraiso.
Good day, I'm Trixie Paraiso and I'm going to discuss cash management of Indonesia. So first, let me define what is cash management. Cash management is a process of how Indonesia collects money in terms of payment and the process of managing their cash flows, meaning kung paano sila nakaka-earn ng revenue and how do they cater or how do they expense their expenditures. So now, let me discuss what is the payment method in Indonesia. Just like here in the Philippines, they have two payment methods. First, cash method or paying through their currency, Indonesian rupiah. Second is non-cash method. As we know, technology has been improved daily so that the paying method, it became easier and convenient to people in Indonesia to pay cashless or by this medium. So lastly, how does Indonesia handle or manage their cash flows? So their cash inflow came with withholding tax, and they have a specific percentage depending on the job or salaries of the certain citizen. These are the percentage: 2% for most types of service where the recipient of the payment is an Indonesian resident, 15% from corporation and individual, and for non-resident, 20% is applicable or people from the other countries. The Indonesia has launched a new government financial management information wherein mas napapadali i-manage yung cash flows or yung country's finances through SPAN, because SPAN manages the financial transactions of over 24,000 government spending units across the country, and this system improves the efficiency, transparency, and accountability. Also, hinahelp niya rin na ma-improve yung planning and spending ng Indonesia.
Hi, I am Sarin Pagsanhan and I will be giving a situation in Indonesia where they practice liquidity management. COVID-19 has resulted to numerous problems around the world, which also became the main reason why Indonesia decided to issue government bonds to finance the needs of their country. So to give you an overview about government bond, it is a form of security sold by the government and one of those investments that can easily liquidate. Since taxations or loans cannot fund the stimulus as it can provide huge amount of cash in a short period of time, the Indonesian government decided to use the government bonds instead and raised about 4.3 billion US dollars with a 50-year tenure to support the government funding towards the pandemic. Although it will cost them large debt, the government still prioritizes the country and its people and said that they will ramp up efforts to bring government spending back in line and produce more revenue once the worst is over, which is also possible since Indonesia is known for being the fifth largest economy in Asia in nominal GDP terms before pandemic started. This situation only proves that liquidity management is really relevant in a business or country since they will be able to access cash easily, especially in terms of needs.
In order to secure a sufficient fund for the whole nation, nagtatag ang Indonesia ng expansionary fiscal policy wherein pabababain nila yung tax and they will spend more sa infrastructure and other expenditure. Maybe you will ask, paano yun? Mababa yung tax tapos panipagastos yung government. How will they be able to secure sufficient funds? This is because ang concept ng expansionary fiscal policy, as we have already discussed in other subjects, ay i-boost yung economy. In short, sa pag-spend ng government sa multiple projects, marami yung ma-employ, marami ring nagiging revenue na tax ang government along the process. Therefore, kahit mababa yung tax, marami yung nagko-contribute dahil sa pag-boost sa economy, kaya Indonesia will still be able to secure sufficient funds. In terms of budget deficit, however, Indonesia covers it through borrowing of funds.
Indonesia has formed a treasury dining room for money in and out payments and revenue, as well as utilizing existing funds in the government. This is to ensure that government cash is sufficiently liquid to support all financial transactions. The principal objective of state cash management in Indonesia is the efficient and effective use of funds possessed by the state. The government usually has a cash balances of around 1 to 2% of gross domestic product. The motivation for better cash management in Indonesia therefore relates to more efficient management of excess liquidity rather than shortages. The commitment management in Indonesia gives the Treasury the ability to schedule cash outflows to match government obligations. Commitment management procedures require the spending units to register expenditure contracts or purchase orders with the Treasury. The registration obligates the budget allocations available against the appropriate budgetary classification and ensures that the obligated amount is not available for other purchases. Whenever the Treasury receives payment requests, these are checked against the amounts earlier obligated for the budget classification before a payment order is issued.
So in terms of risk management, here are some of the strategies that Indonesia implemented to manage possible risk exposure. Indonesia adopted asset and liability approach. So, si Indonesia, ginamit niya po yung ALM approach o yung asset liability approach para mas ma-mitigate nila yung financial risk ng bansa mula sa pagkakaroon ng mismatch of asset and liabilities. Bukod po doon, minamanage din po nito yung financial planning para mas ma-handle nila yung long-term risk exposure na pwedeng mangyari sa bansa like interest rate risk, liquidity risk, and yung currency risk. So, the second bullet is Indonesia country takes their participation in the GDRM program. So, ang purpose po kasi ng program na to is magbigay ng technical advice sa mga country na kabilang sa middle income nations. So, kapag kabilang po kasi sa MIC, sila po yung mayroong kakaibang fiscal policy o yung way ng pag-manage nila ng government or public money like taxes. And kabilang po dito ang Indonesia. So, under GDRM program, natulungan po nila ang Indonesia sa pamamagitan ng institutional strengthening o yung pag-improve at pag-develop sa existing institutional system ng bansa. And yung technical capacity development naman po, dito nakafocus naman po yung program na to sa financial stability and fiscal policy ng isang bansa. And sa third bullet naman po, ngayon mas nakikater na nila yung mga possible financial risk exposure under central bank, state-owned firm o yung mga organization na nag-undertake ng business on behalf of government, pati na rin po yung public debt ng bansa nila. So sobrang laki po na naging contribution ng mga strategies na to sa bansang Indonesia since parang traumatized na rin po sila sa nangyaring financial crisis noong 1990. So ngayon mas na-broaden na po nila yung fiscal risk analysis nila at nagkaroon sila ng pagkakataon na mas ma-identify yung mga possible financial risks sa future.
Good day everyone, I'm Antoinette C. Molina and I'm here to discuss how the government of Indonesia utilized its funds in the maximum possible way at the least cost. So the sequencing of the implementation of the TSA in Indonesia has been very much in line with the international practices. A Treasury Single Account or TSA is a unified structure of the government accounts that aims to consolidate and optimize the use of government cash resources. It enables the government to consolidate cash resources on a daily basis and reduce borrowings currently necessitated by perceived cash shortages arising from holding so many government bank accounts and a fragmented system for handling receipts and payments. A TSA which consolidates government cash balances is a central feature of efficient cash management. The TSA incorporates cash inflows and outflows generated by revenue collection, expenditure, debt, and other financial transactions. A TSA arrangement allows the government to better manage the associated risks of holding cash and take better decisions about the public finances as a whole, particularly regarding cash shortfalls and surpluses. The overall benefits of the TSA have been positive for the government of Indonesia. However, it is difficult to accurately measure the full financial and economic returns.
And now let's move on the worst practice of managing treasury in Indonesia, weak and ineffective treasury management. In late 1990, Indonesia experienced a financial crisis dahil wala silang comprehensive treasury reform, lack of transparency and accountability in managing state cash, and corruption because of political interventions are the reasons kung bakit sila tinamaan ng crisis. So the IMF recommended to them to have a fully functional treasury reform for treasury management that took effect and mas nag-improve yung treasury management nila in the year 1998. For the best practices, nag-focus sila in establishing modern financial information system like the IFMIS. It is a computerized system that automates financial transaction. It facilitates the collection and reconciliation of government cash flow and cash balances. With successful implementation of this system, it can generate timely and relevant financial data to promote fiscal discipline and assist with resource allocation. It also curbing the opportunities for corruption by reducing the opportunities for discretion and informality that are common in manual or paper-based system. And the second one is the implementation of SPAN and SACTI. It is a software system that improves transparency and accountability of treasury. Minamanage nito yung thousands of spending units across Indonesia, and the system reduces human errors and potential frauds through real-time access on the reports and accountings. And to effectively control budget allocation, expenditure commitments, and spending limits. And also, it improves the cash flow forecast and planning with reliable cash management system. Because of the improvement of IT system, it's now possible for the Treasury to have a real-time access on the cash flow that support their budget financing decision, which is not possible sa dating Treasury reform. With the introduction and implementation of this three system, it allows Treasury to focus its time more on analyzing the report rather than doing manual report and checking. Because the system stores, organize, and make access to financial information easy. It ensures that the government and Treasury collect, manage, and spend public funds in a transparent and efficient way. And that ends our discussion for the treasury management of Indonesia.